When I first got the call about Whacker, it came through from a number I didn't recognise, and it was actually a Russian woman on the phone, and she was hysterical. I didn't know what she was trying to explain to me, but she had broken English and she told me that there was a dog in a terrible situation. And a couple of minutes after hanging up, she sent through the video, and it just took my breath away. I was speechless at what I saw, and I didn't have a car at the time with me. I only had a moped. So what I did was I jumped on the moped and drove there as quick as I can, because what I'd seen from the photo was something that was life-threatening.
Oh, I'd say you have a bad headache, mister. They nearly got you, but not this time. Not this time, mister. We're gonna get you fixed, aren't we?
His head was split open. I couldn't actually process it, it looked so bad. And all the way there on the bike, it took me about 20 minutes driving as fast as I could. I was like, what on earth am I gonna do? I don't have a car, I don't know, I don't have medical training.
Good boy.
Hotel suite.
You're in the executive suite. Good boy. It's alright, man. They're your noisy guests.
So when I got there, luckily he was cowered in a corner that they'd managed to trap him into like somebody's front garden, and the cut was so deep you could literally see right into his skull. And I was like, my God, if I move this dog a tiny bit, maybe he's gonna die. Maybe, it was the widest cut I've ever seen, and it was straight into his head. So what I did was got on the phone and eventually managed to get some transport. There was nobody available to come and help me, but I managed to flag down a driver, and I carried him into the back of the truck as carefully as I could, because I was like, this is so close to his head that, there's brains in there, there's, I didn't know. I was like, I'm not trained in that. I was like, he could just, die right in my hands. So I lifted him into a truck and kind of whispered sweet nothings into his ears all the way there, because it's all I could think of doing, and gently patted his belly. And when I got him to the vets, everybody sort of down tools what they were working on and jumped straight and took him into surgery.
Oh, like a big stretch. A big stretch. It's a funny walk. Come on. Come on.
The vet immediately said, look, I was like, what's happened? And he's like, well, it's pretty obvious somebody's hit him on the head, which was my initial suspicion. But once the vet said to me, he was like, look, that's not an accident. It was pretty obvious that somebody had tried to kill him.
Good boy, Whacker.
But he stayed in the vets for a few days. The vet initially told me that if he made it through the night, that was the first thing. And so I was very nervous all night as he'd been in his emergency surgery. But they managed to patch him up, and the vet told me that another millimetre and he would have been dead. That's how close they were to the brains.
You'll look beautiful. We'll get you all cleaned up once you're finished.
So they'd done a lot of damage. It looked really bad, but essentially it was just cut. It was, they hadn't just managed to kill him. He was a very, very lucky boy. I didn't think he was going to survive, but lo and behold he did. And after a couple of days in the vets, I brought him home to the land, and he was all stitched up. It was pretty gruesome actually, because there was sort of a drain on the head, because it sort of had to bleed out for a few days, and there was sort of liquid and pus coming out of his head, which wasn't very nice. But Whacker throughout it all was a superstar. He never had a home. He was a street dog, and he wore his cone. That's where he got the name for it. He wore his cone like very regally, like he was a king or something. So I called him King Whacker.
Whacker, we're so excited for you. You're so excited as well, buddy. What a great day. What a great day. Oh, this is the best day ever, Whacker. Look at that walk. If that's not the happiest dog walk I've ever seen.
Which was a name that people really liked. And immediately he was amazing with the other dogs. He just loved being around them. He was the big boss, but in a really nice way. Like, he always plays with the puppies. They all jump on top of him. He's like a big friendly dad.
That's lovely, Whacker. That's lovely.
And he quickly recovered. It took about 2 or 3 weeks, but once he did recover, we got the cone off.
Whacker, let me see your face. He can't come out here, mister. Oh, he's coming out. Yeah, what a good boy you are.
Eventually, even after 2-3 months, his scar even started to heal. You wouldn't even see it now, but it's amazing how close his brush with death was. Like, that millimetre saved his life. The pickaxe didn't go all the way through, but if it had, he would have died instantly. So I really enjoyed Whacker's company so much. I just loved hanging around with him. He's a lovely, lovely dog. Full of life, always running around. Just one of those dogs that are a big, goofy, fun dog. You never would have guessed that he was a street dog. And the best news now is people have been following him online, and somebody in Scotland has agreed to adopt him. So Whacker, King Whacker of Scotland, is going to be heading over to Europe very soon. He's going to live in Glasgow, and he's going to be a fantastic dog. It's going to be a bit of a climate change for him, but if you think how close he came to death on the streets of Thailand, that he's going to be walking around all regal and all fantastic looking and happy with life on the streets of Glasgow. I think it's just a wonderful story. I'll be sad to see him go, because Whacker's taught me to kind of never look backwards in life. Never, no matter what pitfalls hit you, and my God, was that a big one to hit him, nearly dying. He's never been down for a moment about it. He just only thinks about the future, only lives in the moment, and is just a happy, big goofball. King Whacker, I absolutely adore, and I'll be over the moon to see him go to his forever home. We made it off the streets. We made it off the streets, Whacker. We made it off the streets. My big boy. You're the best boy, Whacker. You're the best boy there ever was. Oh, what a life you're gonna have.